Humans are powerful. We possess such great powers. For me, it's unbelievable how much we could allow others to make us believe that we aren't. But if you watch this video, you know this already. When I think, for example, about manifestation, everything that I try to manifest actually has manifested in my life. But you know, everything has its price. And I was rarely able to see the price beforehand if those manifestations would come true. In fact, I had this one thing that I manifested that I wanted so badly, which in the end came true and then destroyed my whole life. You know, since then I'm much more aware what to manifest and where this wish is coming from. Is it an ego wish or is it coming from my heart? Because when we are manifesting our heart wishes, we are manifesting things that are in alignment with ourselves and the universe. And when we manifest from our ego, the price is always quite high, at least in my experience. And of course, it's not always easy to differentiate, is this wish coming from my heart or is it coming from my ego? We're getting bombarded with so many stimuli from our environment, and especially when you live in a bigger city. So yeah, it's sometimes not easy, and especially when you are, I mean, there are those phases of clarity where everything is so obvious and so easy, but then there are those phases when we are in this, when we cannot be 100% trust ourselves, when we are not 100% reliable, you know, because our emotional state is disrupted, or we have, you know, reoccurring thoughts that are just in the way, or our intuition became so silent we cannot perceive it any longer. So what should we do then in a situation like this when we cannot really perceive? Where is this wish coming from? The problem is we are always manifesting, in those dark times as well. So sometimes we're manifesting a dark future for us when we're in a crisis or something like that. And we let those lower frequencies just take control over us and our lives. You know, I'm a very big fan of the scale of consciousness because it's just helping so much in understanding what this whole reality is and where we are in our life and what's going on. You know, it's really a game changer once you understand to use it. So be aware when you are in the bottom half of the scale of consciousness that this is actually hurting you, and this is a force that's dragging you down instead of empowering you. We are manifesting our life experience here the same way as when we are high vibe, you know? Sometimes even stronger, because whenever you manifest, you have to connect your vision with your emotions, you know? Because your heart is the magnet. So, as you all know, when we're in those low places, we sometimes experience very strong emotions. And that's why, I'm sure you experienced this too, when you once had bad luck with something, you directly attract the next bad thing and the next bad thing. You know, a shitty morning can turn into a shitty day very quickly when we're not aware what's going on, when we're not aware of where we are currently and that we have to get out of these low vibrations. And yeah, the more awareness you have about these things, the quicker you can get yourself out of it. And when you learn how to deal with your emotions, how to let them flow through your body and how to let them go quickly, then you're not trapped in those low frequencies all the time. I think we should always try to elevate ourselves. And as a result of that, the things we wish for will come, you know, will come flying towards us. But our job is to stay in high frequency. On the other side, when we desire something, we're on the scale of consciousness around here. Desire is not the lowest vibe possible, but it's still in a place that leads to a crisis eventually. Because that frequency desire is not that low, so it's oftentimes not perceived and understood as something that hurts us. Same like pride. But it does. It just happens slower and is more gradually happening. You know, that's why it's harder to perceive. Probably especially if you're used to it. Okay, let's take money for example, okay? We all strive to attain it. We all have a desire to get some money, but some people are a slave to it. Some people, it's their main focus. They are sitting on it and they're scared of losing it. For others, they manage it so elegantly. They spend it all the time and constantly receive new income streams, you know? So what is the difference between them? The latter one understood how to handle the energy of money better, you know? yeah, I know this sounds a little bit woohoo again, but I mean, my whole content sounds a bit woohoo, but it is a relationship that we have with money, with our life goals, with our partners. It doesn't matter. It's always the same. It's a universal law that's the same everywhere. And when you are putting all this resistance within the relationship between you and your money, you are toxifying it, you know? When you cling to it, you actually push it away. It's the same with relationship. There's nothing worse for a relationship than being needy and to attach to the other person, you know? You put in so much resistance within the relationship that you naturally push them away, you know? It's really like the opposite of a magnet, you know? You really push it away. But as I said, it's a universal law. And the latter one just understood better how to handle this energy of money better. For example, water is a great metaphor for money, because when you have, let's say, a stream that gets cut off and becomes a puddle, you know, it will become toxic for us as human beings. It will become unhealthy and eventually will dry out. But when we have a stream, an abundant stream that is in its natural cycle and therefore is abundant, it will stay healthy and alive. So money is not the problem here, it's our intention behind it. And this is actually true for everything we do in our lives, our intentions behind it. And if you want to go even deeper, our intentions are one thing, but even more important is our vision behind it, because intentions are like kindergarten and vision is like pro-liga, because your vision is what really matters. Your vision is what your life is all about. But our intentions can teach us a lot, you know, where we are, what we have to focus on, and our intentions can, you know, can be influenced much quicker than our vision, I would say. I have to constantly reassure myself. I have to constantly be aware of where my intentions from which place am I acting right now. You know, I'm a very empathic person, so I take all those stimuli, all those pressure from society, all this stuff from my environment, I take it in like a sponge. So I have to always remember who am I, who I want to be, and not let the world dictate who I have to be or who I am, you know, because the world is trying, and when you are not sure of who you are and when you're not strong within your values and you're not solid within yourself, you will get hijacked. That's why, that's one reason why inner work is so important. So if I don't do these reflections, I could fall prey to all those pleasures from the city, for example. I live in Berlin, which is just a whole orgy of everything you can think of. And you know, it's the same with these videos here, you know. I have to keep my intentions pure with these videos as well. And you know, that's not always easy as well, because I need a curiosity-provoking title and I need a curiosity-provoking thumbnail, or no one of you will click. You know, if I would call this video random thoughts that I wrote down in a restaurant, nobody would watch this. You know what I mean? Even though there is some value in this, I have to package it correctly, and then I need, you know, an intro that is hooking the viewer into the video, because you decide within the first 10 seconds if this is worth your time or not. So it's not always easy to balance out pure intentions and your authentic self with the rules of your environment, but there is always a way to find the right balance, you know. And obviously it matters most that you're authentic, or let's say for me it matters most that I'm authentic and that I attract the right people who are really resonating with me, and who doesn't can leave, and fair enough, you know. I prefer to have less viewers and that it takes much longer to build a community than to build it quicker on a foundation which is based around manipulation, you know. But so many people do that, and that's why we become suspicious, which is, you know, fair enough, we have to be. But I think just speaking about these things honestly is a good step towards the right direction, you know. I want a strong and solid foundation here, and that's why I have to find the right balance between a curiosity-provoking title and thumbnail and a hook, and then providing exactly that within the video, you know. But that's just one challenge from my environment, you know. And I think the best thing is really to be as honest as you can be, you know, because everything else is just short and close-minded and will keep coming back to you. But yeah, I just went to a YouTube course, and this was all about how to keep the viewer engaged, how to use the right music to evoke the right emotions, you know, how to use the right sound effects to build anticipation. And you know, like some of these things, they felt to me like framed and based around manipulation. And that's not how I want to go about all of this YouTube stuff. You know, I have a lot of fun doing it, and I know I would lose the fun when I would be doing, you know, something which is having an intention and a motivation like this. So yeah, I just have to stay true to myself. I guess that's why I'm saying this. Anyway, let's finish the video with what is an ego wish and what is not. You know, I found it helpful to think back in my past and become aware what is the exact moment or the time period where I made this decision, where I created this manifestation, this vision for myself. You know, maybe have I been in a very painful, very confused time, you know. If that's the case, maybe I know, okay, I was maybe a little bit, I was not at 100%, maybe I should readjust it, I should give a second look, and maybe you realize, okay, I have to course correct now a little bit. Or maybe you have to go on a completely different path. But that's 1,000 times better than going into the wrong direction or into a direction that is not meant for you. So yeah, I hope this video was anyway helpful. If you want to watch a video about me living in a forest for 100 months, I will link it here. And if you would like to see what the shamans in South America taught me about manifestation, you can click here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It really means a lot to me. Goodbye.